How to become the man you know you were meant to be. What's up, everybody? This is Johnny, founder of A Lion's Tail, and this is the question that I help men with every single day. How to become the man you were born to be. How to become the man you always wanted to be, but never thought you could actually get there. This is what we talk about at A Lion's Tail. This is my mission. This is my purpose. This is why I'm here. So let's dive into it. I want to tell you one quick thing. I've actually been coached not to share my secrets. They told me, get your appetite wet, share a little bit about what I do, but don't actually share the techniques, the secrets, the process, all that good stuff. And to be honest, I got to tell you, I actually don't align with that at all. Like, I'm supposed to get your appetite wet so you come talk to me and find out more. And to be honest, if this speaks to you, I would love it if you come and found out more. But I'm going to give you all the value I can because my process here, what we do, the secret, the method that I use actually changed my life. I changed the trajectory of my life in 90 days, and then I cemented it over the next year. And right now, I am actually living my dream life. I live in my dream location. I wake up to the sunrise in the ocean every morning. I'm engaged to the woman of my dreams, literally off my vision board. We get married in July. My finances are better than they've ever been, and I'm set up for financial freedom. My relationships with my family, friends, everybody around me, my old coworkers, my clients are the best they've ever been in my life. And once I saw the power of this, I had to share with as many men as possible. So I'm going to give you the keys to the kingdom right now, and then I would love it if you come chat with me for some of our deeper programs where the change actually occurs. So let's get into it. How to become the man that you know you were meant to be, that you were born to be. How do you do that? Well, it's not simple, but there's a simple formula. Here's the big thing. We have to let go of the things in your past that are holding you backwards, okay? So this is not easy stuff. If you thought changing your entire life was easy, then you had it wrong. You're in the wrong place. This is not get rich quick scheme. This is not hitting the lotto. There's none of that in personal growth. This is hard, deep work, but it's worth it completely. And all you need is a guide to show you how to do it in the easiest possible fashion. So big thing is, man, for us as men, I coach men specifically because I grew up as an only child, super introverted, super socially awkward, without a dad, and I always thought I was weird. I always lied about my accomplishments, embellished them, made myself feel more important, never said what was really on my mind, never said no things to things I didn't agree with, never set my boundaries. And I was living other people's lives, to be honest. I wasn't living my own life. I was living in a path where I didn't actually do what I wanted to do. And when I went through this big transformation, and I was able to actually become the man I'd always dreamed of being, it was just life-changing, man. So the big thing is I had a bunch of stuff in my past that was holding me back. I was ashamed of things I'd done in my past, and I felt guilty for what I had done in my past, and I had a bunch of fears that it would happen again. And I'll give you some examples of that. Like, to be honest, I didn't feel like I was good enough to be my mother's son. I had such an amazing mom, and I didn't feel like I was good enough for her. She was so amazing, so loving, so kind, and I felt like I could never live up to her, and it affected me for a long, long time. And when I finally broke out of that, let go of that shame, let go of that guilt, it's like a springboard moving me forward. I had a bunch of, shame, guilt about what I'd done in the past, about bad relationships. I could have done more. Why didn't I say that to this person in this moment? I think I made them feel bad, whatever. I felt guilty about all these past old memories, and that was holding me back, and I was focused on those all day, and they just got bigger and bigger because what you focus on expands. So I was just focused on my guilt from the past, and I had a bunch of fears that I was going to repeat these mistakes. And if I actually tried, if I actually put myself out there, if I was actually seen, people would think I was weird. They would laugh at me. I would fail. I had a huge fear of failure. And even worse, if I succeeded, everybody would expect that level from me all the time, and the pressure would just be too much. And I gotta be honest, I spent all my time in the past, and it sucked all my energy away, and it didn't leave me for any energy on my future. I let go of almost all of that. It's never 100% done, right? Personal growth is never fully done, but I let go of so much of that in my past. And I gotta tell you, every time you snip one of those anchors, those things that are just pulling you down, you just spring forward and you jump a level and you become a bigger version of yourself, closer and closer to the man you were really born to be, the man that you've always dreamed of being. And if you can cut those ties to the negative parts of your past, just give yourself a little self-acceptance, self-love, and self-belief, you cut those and you spring yourself forward. And it's just amazing. That's one piece, right? That's what's holding you back right now. That's what's stealing your energy. That's what's keeping you small. That's what's keeping you in the box that you're currently in. So we got to cut those off and get rid of the past, okay? And the way to do that is incredible. The techniques I came up with, what do we call it? The method that I use is the simplest, most effective, straightforward, and deep way that I've ever found, and that's why I put it all together. I put together everything that I've learned in one complete package, and I've never had a client that didn't get results. Cut all that, move forward. All right, so that's making peace with the past, okay? Now let's talk about the future. So if that's what's holding us back, now we got to start getting into some self-belief piece. So the big thing about the past is we got to get that self-acceptance. We got to start accepting ourselves from our past. Then we got to get into some self-love. We got to start loving the man in the mirror. We got to start forgiving ourselves and loving the person that we are. So for me, I used to only love myself when I was accomplishing things. The only time I was happy is when I did something, when I got an award, when, like I used to be in the music industry, and I got a gold record from one of the bands I recorded. And I think I have a couple now, to be honest. I stopped paying attention. But when I got that, I remember I was like, yeah, now I have a gold record. Look how important I am now. And didn't solve anything, you know? It was just covering up a hole. Once you start accepting yourself for exactly where you are at the moment, where you are right now, with all your mistakes, all your attributes, everything good about you, everything negative about you, everything you'd like to change, everything you don't want to change. Once you start accepting yourself here, that is a massive piece to where you know you are just who you are, and that's all you ever need to be to accomplish everything you want in life. So a lot of self-love and a lot of self-acceptance. And then when we focus on the future, we got to get into self-belief, right? So not only do we have to accept what we've done in the past and let go of fear, shame, and guilt, and then provide ourselves with some love in the current moment and just love who we are right now, we also got to focus on the future and start believing in ourselves and start trusting ourselves, because this is a big thing. You can accept yourself and you can love yourself, but once you start trusting yourself, you will allow others to trust you as well. Once you know that, hey, I can commit to something and keep my word, not only to others, but to myself. Like when I say I'm gonna go to the gym 4 days a week, I go to the gym 4 days a week. Maybe I don't have the best day at the gym. Maybe I just showed up, did one exercise and left because I woke up late, but I still went. I went there. And when you start being able to keep your word to yourself and start trusting yourself, your self-belief will grow. Here's the really cool thing about that. You will start to believe in yourself. You will start to trust yourself. You will start to feel accomplished and know that you can handle more and more things. That's going to make you bigger, bolder, and you're going to have this confidence inside you, and that is actually going to let others trust you as well. So once you start trusting yourself, then others will start to feel that. They'll feel your self-confidence, and you'll start inspiring others and giving them confidence so that they can overcome other things in their life. I gotta tell you, when this hit me, it was crazy. I was in my old profession and I used to had zero confidence, right? That's actually why I play competitive team sports, because as a team sport, you don't have to be the center of attention. I could still go out and try really hard, but if I failed, I could just be very small. And if I succeeded, I succeeded with the team. I didn't have to be in the spotlight. So that's how I used to be. When I made this big shift, when I changed the direction of my life and I started being truly self-confident, I walked around not needing anything from anybody else, I was actually inspiring others, and I saw it. Because I was whole and I was confident, I didn't need anything from everybody around me. When I spoke to others, I could just pay attention to them, and I could see that they were struggling with something. And instead of being worrying about myself and self-conscious, which is actually super selfish, I could actually focus on them and be like, hey, tell me a little bit about that. Like, what are you scared of? You know, what's bothering you right now? And when they told me and they could understand that, like, they opened up to me because they felt the confidence I had in myself, and they felt safe. And when they felt safe, they were safe to share with me, and then I could give them back some of my confidence. And then they got more confident in themselves and had a better day that day and a better month that month. And I got to tell you that feeling was infectious, and that's why I got into my current profession. When I realized that when I'm whole and I'm self-confident, I can give confidence to others, and I can help others get into the same space that I'm at, which is just incredibly amazing. So we got to get that self-acceptance, that self-love, and then self-belief and self-trust. And once you start doing that, when you start really accepting, loving, and believing in yourself, this changes everything. You're on a different path. You're going after what you want. Now you're not going to be scared to fail in public and maybe go after that beautiful girl you saw walking down the street, even if you're in public and other people can hear what you're saying and see what you're doing, which can be terrifying when you're in that space. But now I can see it's no big deal at all, no worries. You can start that business, even though you might fail, or even though you might succeed and feel like, what if I do succeed? How am I ever going to be able to handle it? No big deal. You've got it. You can trust yourself. There's so many other things. You can start relationships. You can be comfortable being truly authentic and saying what's actually on your mind, because you know that you're operating within your own values. You're not driven by your past anymore. That guilt, that shame, that fear from the past. You're operating in your own values. You don't have to worry about any of it because you've taken care of it. You can focus on yourself in the present moment and your future and your dreams, and spend all of your energy looking at what you actually want to do. And that is the way that you become the man that you always knew you could be. We get rid of the ties to your past that's weighing you down. We cut those. We start loving who we are in this moment, right now, exactly who you are. Flaws, benefits, everything. Your biggest strengths, your biggest accomplishments, your biggest failures, everything. Just aligned with yourself. You just love who you are right in this moment. And you start to take on more and more stuff. Get out of your comfort zone. Take on bigger and bigger challenges. Show yourself what you're truly capable of and become truly confident in yourself. And then you can do anything you want to. That's why I have videos. That's why I have videos on going after the woman of your dreams and the dating side. And I've been a dating coach for 3 years now. And that's why I have videos on true self-confidence and just self-belief. And that's why I have videos on the path to your first million and financial independence, financial freedom. Because once you learn the step, that man, when you become the man you've always known you could be, you can accomplish anything. At that point, you can tackle anything you want to. I'm living proof. That's what I did. I'll put some before and after pictures in this video for some B-roll, and you'll check it out. Like, I had no confidence and no self-belief. You can see it in the photos, and it completely put me in a box for what my life was supposed to be. I broke out of that. Now I do exactly what I want. I go after exactly what I want at all times. And now I'm literally living my dream life. And to be honest, here's the crazy thing. I replaced almost every photo on my vision board with photos of me. That's what I dreamed of. That's what I did. And now I had to come up with more bigger dreams because I accomplished all the ones I had, which is just insane. So I gotta tell you, that's the key to all of this. And if this really spoke to you, if this is just turning the wheels and it's just like, this is it, I wanna learn more. I've got a couple links down below. First one is just gonna be to my website. You can take a look around, see what I'm all about, see what we do, see the testimonials, what the other clients have done and their results, and check all that stuff out. I've also got a link down to my Instagram where I'm most active on most things. And then I've got a link to maybe a lead magnet or something like that. But the big thing is I have a link to book a free call with me. So my invitation to you is take a look around, see what we're all about, book that call, have a chat with me. Let's see if you're a good fit for our deeper programs. Because the thing is, once I knew that you can actually change the direction of your life in 90 days, in 3 months, I had to tell everybody. I had to share this with everybody possible, because there's a whole different life on the other side of confidence. There's a whole different life on the other side of confidence. And you can actually be the man you've always dreamed of being. So take a look below, click some of the links, book a call, let's chat, nothing to lose. And I hope this helped a ton. I'll see you soon. Cheers.